welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I actually filmed a video for you guys. I think this is my first one of the new year. So happy new year guys, happy 2020. I hope that this year has begun amazing for you all. I hope that it's been a little bit better than it has been for me, because if you follow me on my Instagram account, you guys would know that I actually pulled my back a couple of weeks ago and it's finally just starting to feel better. So that's why I'm filming for you guys today. So that's why you also see my Christmas tree still up in the background. So since I pulled my back, I told my sister, I was like, I cannot take down all of our Christmas decorations because we have like 3 trees up in the house and a lot of decorations because we are Christmas obsessed. So that's why they're still hanging around here, and it's like January 16th. So I hope you guys don't mind it. I will be taking these decorations down hopefully next week because my back is feeling much better. If any of you guys know, pulling your back is like the worst. I literally could not walk straight for like a week, so it's finally been manageable and I have just started filming. I posted a couple of videos that I had pre-filmed before the new year, so I hope you guys don't mind that and I hope you guys check them out. I did a funny random facts video about me that is actually quite interesting and a little bit juicy, so if you guys want to know some more info about me, then I hope you guys check that video out. So I did film the soft pink Valentine's Day inspired makeup tutorial for you guys, so if you want to see how I got it, then please keep on watching. So as you can see, I do have my brows done, and I also have a tutorial where I show you my everyday brow routine. So I will link that in the description box down below if you guys are curious. And I just have a ColourPop concealer as my base. It is the no filter concealer, so I just place that all over my eyelids, and that is what I'm using today as my eyeshadow base. So for this pink inspired Valentine's Day tutorial, I wanted to use this palette from ColourPop. This is their Strawberry Shake palette. So it has all of those beautiful pinky shades here that really inspired me to create this really nice pink Valentine's Day tutorial. And I'm really excited to use it again. I did use it once on my channel because this palette is a bit older. I think it came out like 3 or 4 months ago. So I figured I might as well use it again because I know that when people buy palettes, it's kind of just like you'll see tutorials in the beginning when they're launched and then people won't really use those same palettes in other tutorials. So I just figured it's nice to use palettes that we have in our collection just to kind of keep it refreshed and not to forget about these little palettes because they are amazing. So the first shade I'm going to go into is this shade over here, which is a really nice medium tone matte pink shade. It's a little bit on the cooler toned mauve side, so it's not like so pink. It's just like a soft pink, which is gorgeous, and it will look amazing smoked out in the crease. So I'm going to take that with this Hank & Henry blending brush. This is in the style called Meg. So I will zoom you guys in. I would love to know if you guys prefer the more zoomed in makeup tutorials or if you like them a little bit further. Please let me know because I would love to know what you guys prefer. And this pink shade is just so pretty. So I'm really just packing in that shade. You can see this is that one shade and it's just so beautiful. The look would just look amazing even just with that one shade, so that's super simple. I am gonna add maybe another 1 or 2 from this palette, so we'll see. I'm envisioning like a really nice sparkly pink look, so I just think that it's super fun to do for Valentine's and honestly any time of the year. I just think that pink is like so Valentine's and it looks so pretty as an eyeshadow. Okay, now using that same Hank & Henry brush, I'm going to dip into this shade over here, which is like a deeper version of this shade that we just used. This shade is called Shake It Up and it's really gorgeous, and I'm going to, as I said, use that same brush. I'm just placing that towards the outer corner of the eye just to kind of deepen it up. As you can see, I don't have any foundation on, so I'm kind of just letting the shadow fall a little bit because I am going to clean it up after with a wet wipe. It's pretty effortless. I think I actually just want to leave it with those 2 colors because I really want that soft pink to shine through and the glitter that we're going to add on. Okay, so I think I want to do a little bit of a cut crease, so I'm going to use my favorite concealer for that. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 00, which is just their white concealer. And I'm also going to use this ColourPop brush. This is a flat concealer brush and this is their E4 brush. And I'm just going to place some concealer on the inner corner of my eye just to carve out a little bit of a cut crease. So I'm just going to place some of that white concealer onto this flat ColourPop concealer brush. Okay, so my 2 secret weapons for this look are these 2 liquid eyeshadows here from PIXI. These are their liquid fairy lights in the shade called Rose Gold, and CRYSTALLINE, and I am just obsessed with these shadows over here. They're just like gorgeous liquid shadows that will dry to a matte finish while still giving you that gorgeous glitter effect and just making it super simple. So these are definitely one of my makeup favorites. I'm just obsessed with them, and I kind of re-fell in love with them all over again because they're just so beautiful and they are so easy to use, and they really do make a statement, and it looks like you did so much more on your eyes than you really did. So this is definitely a secret weapon that is amazing, and I highly suggest these. So first I'm going to start with this rose gold one, and I'm just going to place that all over the lid where we place that white concealer. So I'm just really placing that on at the inner corner and just like kind of just smoking it out here. And then I'm just going to use my finger just to kind of blend out the outer corner here. And then on top of that, I'm going to use this a beautiful, just like a glittery white one. This is called CRYSTALLINE, and it is literally stunning. And this is like a great topper for any eyeshadow look because it really just makes the look come to life, and it's just so beautiful because it's kind of like that iridescent multicolored glitter, and it's just so pretty. I really love this one. So I'm just gonna add that more towards the inner corner. So now I'm just gonna use a wet wipe and just clean off that fallout that we have. Okay, so you can see that with that wet wipe, I kind of just created that outer line there. That just kind of gives you that cat eye effect with the shadow that we use. So that's like a good little trick that I always do pretty much, especially when I'm not gonna do a cat eye. I like to just kind of make my shadow go in that winged direction, and it's so easy just to use a wet wipe, even tape, anything that you feel comfortable using. And now I'm going to prime my face with this E.L.F. Poreless Putty Primer. This is a really good primer, and I always use it here on my channel. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that with a clean hand and blend that on my T-zone. Just my nose and the surrounding area. That's where I have the most pores and I get the most shiny there. And now for foundation, I'm going to use these two shades over here. These are the Bare Minerals BAREPRO Performance Wear Liquid Foundations. And I'm going to mix the shade called Light Natural with the shade called CAMEL. So I'm gonna mix these two together and pounce it into my face with this huge makeup sponge. This is from Hank & Henry Beauty, and I really love this sponge because it's so big, and I like that it actually has like the four edges and like the sharper point. So it's actually a really good sponge, and definitely make sure it's nice and damp before you use it. And it's really good for putting on foundation because it like covers so much at once. Just gonna place a little bit of this darker shade, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the lighter shade as well. Make sure you get your hair out of the way, and then let's just pounce. This sponge is like so easy to use, and it's so quick. I really love it. It's actually one of my new favorites. I've been using pretty much the whole month of December and now January. Okay, so now that the foundation is all blended in, I'm going to go in with, surprise, surprise, these concealers from E.L.F. These are the 16-hour Camo concealers, and I'm gonna go in with the shade called Tan, a Latte, and Medium Sand. I'm just gonna mix the two shades. But first I'm gonna go in with this more deep shade here. It's a bit more on the peachy side. I'm gonna place that first there. And I'm also gonna just clean the outer edges there, kind of where we use that wet wipe, just to really define that shadow. And then I'm just gonna place the lighter concealer just on the inner corner. And I did hear that they're coming out with a new hydrating 16-hour concealer, and I really want to get my hands on that. I don't know if it's in Canada yet, so I will definitely have to check that out because I'm obsessed with the original one, so I would really love to try the hydrating one. If you guys have tried it, let me know if you like it. And I'm going in with that same damp makeup sponge. I'm going to just blend all of that concealer in. Okay, so now I'm just going to set my under eyes with this ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder. This is in the shade Translucent, and I'm just going to put that onto a little powder puff and lightly set my under eyes because that concealer is pretty matte, so you don't need too much. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of let that powder just do its job, sit under my eyes a bit, bake a bit if you will, even though I'm not doing like heavy baking. And usually I would set my foundation, but my skin has been more dry because of the winter weather, and I also feel like this foundation is super matte, this Bare Minerals one, so you really don't need to set it too much because it is very matte and it dries super nicely. So that's great. So I'm just gonna go straight into the bronzing and contouring, and I'm going to use this Bare Minerals palette. I actually rediscovered this palette in my collection and have been loving it again. This is their contour palette and it has 3 shades in here. You have more of a deep contour, you have your bronzer, and then you have a nice highlighting shade, which is a little bit on the yellow cream side, so it's super nice. I'm going to go in with this middle shade here just to bronze up the face a little bit, and I'm going to use this bronzing brush from Morphe. This is the JH02 brush. I'm just gonna add some nice color back into my face because you can see that foundation kind of just really mutes everything and it doesn't give you any definition. So you really want to bronze after applying liquid foundation. It's really important. Just with this big fluffy brush over here, I'm just gonna wipe off all of that under eye setting powder. And I'm gonna use a couple blushes. I actually just recently discovered this. It's called a glowy powder, and this is in the shade called Fetch, and it's by PIXI, and it's super pretty because it's like so metallic and it just gives your face like that glow from within, and it's just a stunning like blush top, or you just want to do like a quick blush and just add a little bit of glow to your face and color. Love this. I've been obsessed with it. I'm just gonna place that on my cheeks with this Morphe JH06 brush. So as you can see, it gives your cheeks that beautiful pinky mauve color while also just making it glow. And it's not like a chunky glitter, it's just like super pretty. And so I'm also using this blush that was part of that Strawberry Shake collection. This is the ColourPop blush here. You can see it's a super pretty matte, like almost bright, like strawberry fuchsia pink, and this is in the shade called Shortcake. I'm gonna take that same Morphe brush and just place a little bit of this on the apples of my cheeks. I really love this pink blush. I think it's such a pretty shade. I really love the pink cheeks with the pink eyes. I just think it looks like so baby doll and just like glowy and pretty, and I just think this is a super cute look for Valentine's. I'm also going to quickly highlight my nose. I'm going to use this concealer from E.L.F. that we use. This is in the shade called Medium Sand. I'm going to take it on this little pencil brush from ColourPop. This is an E10 brush, and I'm just going to place some of that concealer on the tip and bridge of my nose. I like to do this as a base before I add my highlighting powder. Then I'll blend it out with my fingers quickly. And that just creates a really nice base before I add the powder highlighter, because I just feel like it really makes the highlighter just stay there all day and really set nicely. So before we highlight, I'm just gonna finish my eyes. And I'm gonna go in with the same Strawberry Shake palette here and into that same shade that we used in the beginning in our crease. That was the shade called Woke. And I'm taking it on this pencil brush. This is a Morphe JH38 brush. And I'm just gonna smoke that on the lower lash line. Then using this flat brush here, this is a Morphe JH43 brush. I'm gonna go into that deeper shade there and just kind of tight line that deeper shade under the lash line, just to add some dimension. And that deep shade was called Shake It Up. Now taking this little flat brush, this is a Morphe JH42 brush, I'm going to dip into this gorgeous pink champagne shade in this palette. This is called Delish, and I'm just gonna place that on the inner corners. And I'm gonna put on some mascara. This is the NARS CLIMAX mascara in Explicit Black, and I'm going to place that on my top and lower lashes. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop on this pair of lashes that I got from eBay. I will link the specific style in the description box and the link where you can buy them. So I will quickly pop those on, and then I'll be back to finish off the look with the highlight and the lips. Okay, so the lashes are on, and now I just have to highlight and do my lips, and then the look will be completed. So I'm going to highlight with this new palette that I really love. This is from PIXI as well, and this is the RACHHLOVES. So this is a collaboration palette, and it's super beautiful. It's a gorgeous highlighting palette. You get these two big highlighters, a little one here. This is like a more funky color, and then this is kind of like a bronzy highlight. So they're really pretty. This is called the Layers Highlighting Palette in Glow On. I'm going to highlight my nose with this shade here. This is called Lace. It's a really nice bright champagne shade, a little bit more on the pinky champagne side. So I'm just taking that on this little brush. This is a Morphe JH42 brush. I'm placing that highlight where we just lightly place that concealer, just blending that out with my fingers again. And then I'm gonna go in with this more fluffy highlighting brush. This is a Morphe JH09 brush, and I'm going to go into this shade here called Tea, which is more of a golden shade. I'm just gonna place that on the cheekbones here. Just like, look how pretty that glow is. This shade is a little bit deeper. It's more of like a golden champagne, where that lace shade was definitely more on the like bright whitish pinky highlighting shade. A little bit on my Cupid's bow, just above my brows a little bit. Okay, so now it's time to do the lips, and I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal lip liner. It is their Color Riche lip liner in the shade 114 Matting Call. And as you can see, I'm like almost down to the end of this one. So I'm just gonna line my lips with that. It's like the perfect like nude brown without being like too dark or too light. It's just like the perfect color. So I think I want to do kind of like a glossy pinky nude color. So I'm going to go in with this lipstick from L'Oreal. This is their Color Riche Shine lipstick in 908 Sparkling Rose. And it's a really pretty pinky color. I'm just going to place that all over my lips. This is nice because it gives you like that nice pop of pink, but I am going to tone it down a little bit. And on top of that, I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer lip gloss. This is in the shade called 60 Teas, and it is like the perfect like nude mauvey pink shade. I'm just obsessed with this color. So I'm gonna place that all over my lips. And this is definitely more of like a sticky gloss, so like a little bit goes a long way. Okay guys, so that is the finished soft pink Valentine's Day inspired makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys like the way this turned out. I would love to know what other videos you guys want to see from my channel. All of your feedback really does help me and definitely goes a long way, so I appreciate every single comment that I get. And I would love to know what your plans are for Valentine's Day, if you guys are spending it with a loved one, family, whoever, friends. I know that Valentine's can be quite the overrated commercial type of holiday. At the end of the day, it's just another excuse to just spend time with loved ones, doesn't matter who it is. So if you guys like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And don't forget to follow me on my Instagram at JULIASALLURE, where I do a lot of polls and questions on my stories where you guys can be more interactive with me. So definitely don't forget to follow me on there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!